Welcome to Big Valley Living. It is really hot outside right now, but it is definitely zucchini season in the garden and at the farmers markets. So what we're going to do tonight, we're just going to have some simple hamburgers tonight. But for the side dish, I'm going to go ahead and make fried zucchini. In the past, we've used flour and eggs, but we're going to make a keto version that we tried earlier this week. And I wasn't very excited about using pork rinds, I'm going to be honest with you, or chicharrones. But we tried it and it was amazing, super crispy, super delicious. So join us while we make a nice batch for dinner tonight. Stay tuned.
It's so good!
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and crush up these chicharrones or pork rinds. And I got, this is 2.5 ounces, and this is the brand that we picked up over at the grocery store. I didn't get any flavored type stuff. It's just regular, plain. They come with all kinds of flavors now, and this looks just fine enough. And what I'm going to do is put them into my tiny food processor and do it in batches. I might have to go back and forth a little bit, but that's how it is. Alternatively, pardon me, you can put these into a baggie and get a rolling pin and just roll them and crush them. So out of 8 cups of uncrushed chicharrones and going through the food processor, I ended up with about 1 cup of finely crushed chicharrones or pork rinds. Thank you. So I want you to see the consistency. It's kind of like sand as far as it goes. And again, this is in lieu of using flour for dredging. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we are going to get the oil preheating in the frying pan, and I'm going to mix up some eggs and cream and slice up the zucchini, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I've already staged everything for when we get ready to fry. I have 2 eggs and about 1/2 tablespoon of cream. Use however much you want. I highly recommend using the cream because it will just make it nicer to help the powdered chicharrones adhere to the zucchini. This is a little bit different than when you use the traditional flour method because you have to kind of press this. I'm finding that you have to press it into the zucchini a little bit. So there we go. Thank you, tiny Pampered Chef whisk. I love you. We will be right back. So I am now going to preheat the oil. I don't like to preheat it while I'm doing other things because I don't want to step away from it. You know, you don't want to grease fire or anything like that. So what you want, I'm not going to give you a measurement because it depends on the size of the pan you're using. 1/4 to 1/2 inch of oil, okay? And I do want to note that we cut our zucchini at about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch thick, okay? Because we like them to be crispy. Let me see here. This is about the thickest one I have, and a couple of them got kind of thin, okay? But you want to keep them all somewhat consistent so that when you're frying them, they fry at about the same rate. Now, I am preheating my electric skillet that I've had for a long time here at 375. I will adjust as necessary because we don't want the zucchini to burn while it's cooking, but we do want it to cook quickly. So as soon as that's melted, we will start breading. Okay, so the oil is just about ready. Again, I set it at 375 to get it started because once we put the vegetables in there, it's going to cool down, and that's just how frying goes. Now, a couple of things I want to tell you. Try to keep one hand on the drier things and one hand when you're getting things wet, okay? So I am essentially going to keep my right hand and be careful about the heat. This is just our setup. You could spread out on a counter and have more room. But we are going to, I'm going to take a piece of zucchini, I'm going to put it into that mixture right there, the egg and cream mixture. And like I said, you have to kind of make sure. I like to get a few of them ready before I put them in while the oil is heating up, and I'm right there with it. Oops. Yeah, see, it kind of does that. But oh my God, you guys. Okay, so I've been frying zucchini for a gazillion years, and we've always used egg, flour, and oops, and then fry it up. Well, this takes less time, I have found, and gives you a much crispier product. And what I like to do, because we're going to do a few batches, is to put the oven on warm. I just have a few. I like to put like at least 6 in like right away at the same time and let the heat adjust. Again, you also want to keep in mind how many you're doing. Maybe keep some extra crumbs on hand to make sure that you have enough. This is all dependent on how many you want to have. One other thing I want you to have ready before you start frying. Make sure to line a plate or a serving dish, okay, with paper towels because it will be greasy coming out of the oil. Do not have any water on your zucchini because it will splatter and you could burn yourself. That'd be very dangerous. And make sure that you have some heat-safe tongs with you to you're going to turn them halfway and then to transfer them from the pan to the plate. So keep all that in mind, and also obviously if you're going to put your oven safe plate in the warm oven, you want to definitely have an oven mitt so that you don't burn yourself. So I know that might sound basic, but if you've never cooked anything like this before, I don't want you to take anything for granted. So, oh, look at that, huh? That's what it should do. Sizzle, sizzle. And I hope you can hear that. I'm going to move over so you can hear it. This is a really good recipe. I'll tell you what, I resisted using this for these pork rinds for a long time. And I don't care what I'm doing. I will probably never go back to flour again on fried things. We're going to be doing some fried green tomatoes here pretty soon too because the garden's starting to go pretty great guns. So, as you can see, this hand is wet and this hand has the chicharrones on it. So this would be the dry hand, this would be the wet hand. That's what I talked about. Our frying pan is fairly large, and so it's about the equivalent of a 9 by 11 baking dish. So you can't see the whole thing. I wanted you to see all of this. So that 2.5 ounces and the egg and cream mixture and 2 zucchini. I basically used a half of one of those, one full zucchini. And there's still more left, so I'll probably go ahead and crush up another bag of the chicharrones. But I do want you to see that it's about time to turn. And see how crispy that is? Isn't that nice? These take about half the time to cook as traditional flour dredging. I don't know why. Well, probably because these are already cooked. But they're just so crunchy. It's amazing. So I'm turning them over. The first ones I put in the pan have probably been cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe up to 5. Oops. Now you hear that splashing? If there was any water in here right now, you would be in danger of actually, having some splatter out and burn you. And that is definitely not pleasant. If you're a new cook and you've had it happen, you know what I'm talking about. If you're an old cook, trust me, you've had it happen at least once in your life and you never forget that. So I am flipping everything over and they'll probably cook for about another minute or 2. This one looks a little bit less done than I'd like, so I'm going to flip it to the original side. And as soon as these are done, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put them on the paper towel lined sheet plate that is oven safe. And I'm going to put these into the oven to stay warm until the rest of them are ready. You can salt them now if you want. You could put some other sort of spice on there like pepper or paprika, whatever suits your fancy. But these are really looking good and crispy, so I'm going to start taking them off in just a minute. So I'm going to move a few things around and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, everybody, here we go. So I like to take them out in the order that they were placed in there. We found that the chicharrones have enough salt in them naturally from out of the bag, so we do not salt these as if you had plain flour because it's already salty. So I'm going to take them out, and this is why you're going to line that. Do you see all that grease? You not only have the oil that you put into the pan, but you have the added oil from the chicharrones themselves because they are pig fat. So I'm going to do this. I'll probably dab them off one more time. And when you see us in a minute, we will be enjoying them. And I hope that you try it. This is so delicious. And there you have it. We have our keto-friendly fried zucchini rounds. They're so good. They cook in about half the time as traditional flour battered fried zucchini. They're super crispy, super delicious. Husband approved because he asked me to make these like every day since we tried the recipe. It's really good. So thank you all very much for visiting Big Valley Living. Please like this video, share it with your friends. So if you haven't subscribed already and you like our recipes and want to see more, please subscribe. Thanks again. We really appreciate you coming by. And let's go ahead and give this a taste test. JJ, come on.
Knock yourself out.
No, you come on in here. Get on in.
Oh, you know I am. They're so good. See you later, everybody.
Be kind, and thanks again. Bye.